All right, let's dive in. Ever imagined owning a piece of paradise?
Today we're talking Phuket real estate. Is now the time to invest?
We're using insights from Ocean Worldwide Phuket Real Estate. Rate.
Yeah, they're a reputable agency based right in Phuket, and what are they seeing?
Big price jumps. Everyone's talking about this.
Huge surge in residential prices, yeah, 10 to 15% this year alone.
Wow, that's way above the usual, isn't it?
More than double. Typically you'd expect around 5% growth, so this is significant.
Definitely significant.
Yeah.
So, gotta ask, what's driving it? What's pushing these prices so high?
It's interesting, actually. They're seeing a wave of cash buyers, mostly from Eastern Europe.
Cash buyers.
Hmm.
Instead of getting mortgages and things.
Exactly. Think Russia, Ukraine, places with, instability. Phuket is like a haven for their money.
Makes sense. Safe and beautiful.
Yeah.
But cash buyers, huh? Does that change the market in some way?
Absolutely. It brings stability. Less reliance on loans means the market isn't so vulnerable when interest rates change.
So fewer of those wild swings you hear about. Makes it more predictable.
More stable, exactly. And that's attractive to investors, especially now with so much uncertainty around.
Okay, but let's be real. Most people aren't strolling in with suitcases full of cash.
Hmm.
What about, regular investors?
The blog talks about that too. It's not all about buying villas outright. Rentals are hot right now, especially with tourism booming again after, well, everything.
So you could buy, say, a condo and rent it out to vacationers.
Precisely.
Oh.
Tap into that steady flow of people wanting a taste of paradise.
I like the sound of that. But there's more than just residential, right? What about businesses?
Phuket's a global tourist destination. Businesses are thriving, so commercial properties are in demand too.
Right, shops, restaurants, all that. Any other interesting trends we should know about? New stuff popping up.
One thing that caught my eye, co-living spaces. They're gaining traction, particularly among younger investors.
Co-living. So what, shared living spaces, but more intentional?
Yeah, like a blend of private and communal. Think young professionals, digital nomads. You have your own space, but also shared amenities and maybe co-working areas.
So it's like community-focused, designed for how people work and live today.
Exactly. It's still new in Phuket, but it's growing fast.
Lots of options then. But okay, time for the elephant in the room.
Mm.
Volatility. Everyone's using that word. What does that actually mean for, someone thinking about Phuket?
Right, right. It's thrown around a lot. Basically, it means how much and how quickly property values can change.
So like prices could go way up, but then also way down?
Exactly. A volatile market can be a roller coaster. And those ups and downs, they're influenced by things happening both globally and specifically in Phuket.
Okay, so let's break it down. What kinds of things are affecting Phuket's market specifically? What's pushing those prices up?
Well, the blog lists a few key things. Foreign buyers, for one. It's a big one, especially
Yeah.
post-pandemic.
Yeah, people are itching to get out, right? And Phuket, it's Phuket.
Exactly. That escape to paradise thing is huge. And it's not just individuals either. Investment funds, developers, they're seeing the potential too.
And they're seeing those returns, both short-term rentals and then like the property itself going up in value over time.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing. It's not just one big wave of buyers all wanting the same thing. Different folks, different strokes.
So this is where knowing the specific areas comes in, right? Location, 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 all that.
That's it. The blog breaks it down really well. For example, young professionals, those who want a bit more of a buzz, they're heading to places like Patong.
Patong. Okay, so more nightlife, more that energetic vibe.
Exactly. Restaurants, clubs, that kind of thing. It's a bit more cosmopolitan, you could say.
Hmm.
And for investors, the rental market there is really strong just because there are always so many tourists.
Makes sense. Constant demand. So that's Patong. What about families? Where are they looking?
Kamala, Bangtao, those areas are popular with families. A bit quieter, beautiful beaches, of course, but more of a residential feel overall.
That peaceful family vacation vibe. Can't go wrong with that.
Exactly. And then you've got, well, the luxury market. Those high-end villas, incredible views, private pools, the whole 9 yards.
The stuff dreams are made of. Are these sprinkled all over, or are there specific areas known for that?
You'll find them throughout the island, yeah. But some areas are definitely known for it, Cape Panwa, for example. And then there's the Laguna Phuket Resort Complex. That's a big one for luxury properties.
Wow, okay. So we've covered condos, villas, even these amazing luxury retreats. Phuket really does seem to have it all.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, even Paradise probably has its downsides, right? What about the challenges, the risks? The blog must mention those too, right?
They do, and they're important. We talked about volatility, but There are other things to be aware of, like the regulations for foreigners buying property. It can be tricky.
Yeah. Different country, different rules.
Exactly. You really want a good lawyer, someone who knows Thai property law inside and out.
Yeah.
And then there's the environmental aspect.
Right, because Phuket's beauty is its biggest asset. Got to protect that.
Absolutely. And the blog brings up some concerns. Coastal erosion, for one.
Oh, like the beach is actually shrinking.
Yeah, in some areas. Rising sea levels, construction too close to the shore, it's having an impact.
So it's not just about buying in the right market. It's about understanding those bigger environmental pieces, too.
It is. And those environmental concerns, they're actually tied into some of the regulations the blog talks about, too, like the changes around short-term rentals.
Right, they mentioned those. What's the deal there? What do people need to know?
Well, the government's getting stricter. They're worried about overdevelopment, the impact on the environment, and on locals, too.
Makes sense. So what does that mean practically? Someone buys a condo, wants to rent it out on Airbnb. What then?
It's still possible, but it's not as simple as it used to be. There are specific zones now. Some places you can do short-term, others you can't.
So you really need to know the rules before you jump in.
Absolutely. And that's where those local experts come in again. Real estate agents, lawyers, they can make sure you're doing everything by the book.
It's like, yeah, Phuket is beautiful, but it's not just about picking a pretty place on the map anymore. There's more to think about.
Way more. Informed decisions, that's key, not just following the hype. And that actually ties into, I think, the most interesting point the blog makes. They ask, is Phuket about quick returns, or is it about being part of a place that's evolving for the future?
Ooh, that's a good one. So not just making a quick buck, but being part of something bigger, something longer term.
Exactly. And that resonated with me. It's about thinking about your investment in a different way. Are you contributing to the island positively?
They're like, yeah, make a profit, but do it in a way that actually benefits Phuket in the long run. Sustainable development, all that.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole conversation so important. We're not just talking about real estate. We're talking about the future of a place.
A beautiful place. So wrapping it all up, for our listeners who are now inspired to maybe look into Phuket a bit more, what are the key takeaways from Ocean Worldwide? What do they want people to remember?
Do your research, understand the risks, but also the incredible opportunities. And get local expertise. That's crucial. Work with people who know Phuket inside and out.
Don't just wing it, basically.
Yeah.
Get good advice.
Exactly. Phuket is amazing, but its future depends on smart, responsible development.
Love it. Dive in, but dive in smart.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Phuket real estate. We hope you found it valuable, insightful, and maybe even a little inspiring.
Until next time, happy investing, everyone.